Okay, George.
Oh my goodness.
I like your outfit.
Really? I didn't like it too much.
I'm wearing green pants. I like doing like olive green with like a bright green.
Okay.
I like doing this.
Really? I feel like I don't like doing like monochromatic things like that. I feel like the greens clash.
You know what's so funny? I love monochromatic. Like even my makeup, I'll do it like that. Like whenever I do wear makeup, I like to pretend I buy lots of makeup, and I like to pretend like I'm gonna use it, and literally I never do. But if I ever do, it's like if I have pink eyeshadow, it's pink blush, pink lipstick. I don't know.
Oh.
But what's so funny is, growing up, I used to really be like, my mom thought she was bougie.
Okay.
And my mom always talks about how she was like the fanciest girl in all of Colotlan, blah blah blah. Like people would like wait for her to pass by so they could smell her perfume. But like my mom worked for a factory for many years, and so she would still get like ready. She would do her nails, and her nails would match her outfits. And she used to be about monochromatic life too. And I remember
really? Wow, okay.
watching, like growing up watching her, I used to be like, I hate this combo. I hate that she's wearing like light purple with dark purple and purple earrings and like purple lipstick. I used to hate it. And now it's like, I literally am her.
That's hilarious. I couldn't do it. Like I have like I know they go well, and I like that look too. Like I like how like different shades of purple and stuff like that. But I feel like sometimes like if you don't wear the right purple, it's still like just throw it all off. I don't know. It's something weird about that.
And also like George asks me a lot because he's been playing with his fashion lately.
Yeah.
He'd be like, what color goes with it? And I honestly try to remember on my mom. Because she would also mix and match. She'd do the purple and gold. She would do like pink and green. She would do that like red and yellow. She would like combine a lot of colors like that and be like, my mom literally looks like a weirdo. But honestly, like people would be like, oh, your mom's so fancy. You should just come to the factory.
Dang.
And she dresses up. And I'd be like, really? And now I'm her. Like,
that's
legit.
hilarious. Oh, you know, the funny part is after I asked you to help me, I was like, you're like, pay attention to things outside in the world, you know, like she's like, pay attention to fruit. Fruit has like these really cool color combos, and like people like, I was like, oh, like wow, like kiwis or something like that, or like
brown and green,
or strawberries, and I was like, wow. So that made me think like basketball teams, like if you just look at basketball teams, like they're a little bit more powerful, but if you just like kind of dumb them down. And I'm just like, oh wow, like you could just copy off there, like the Toronto Raptors, they do like a purple and red, you know, and I'm just like, what the fuck, like, and I would have never thought of putting those together,
right?
Yeah.
Or like, what team is that with like the gold? I think it might be a college team, I don't know, but like gold and like almost like a navy blue, like those two colors go well. You know what I mean? Like there's lots of little colors like that. So yeah, I always think about like stuff that's in the world, like when you look at the sky, like. Sometimes like the sunset's like pink and purple, and sometimes be like, oh, those are too many like like feminine colors, but then they go,
right?
You know what I mean? Like they go with each other. So
that's so true.
We're not talking about this.
Yeah, this is not our topic. We just kind of just started it, like guys. So yeah.
I want to say though, like the past few episodes, well, since our comeback. We've had a lot of like visitors in the gym, and I feel lonely. I think like we need
it does feel a little empty right now.
I feel like we need a studio audience now, like all the time. I feel like, oh, it's just us talking.
But then we'd have to talk to them, and we'd have to ask some questions, and we had to be like entertaining.
And Rachel, I keep she doesn't remember the question she asked me
dang,
too.
That sucks.
She stumped me. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about a couple of things. We have a visitor on our next podcast, so this will be kind of like a chill. We've been talking a lot about like, you know, political things,
right? Yeah,
and we wanted, you know, we're all about everything. We encompass it all, but at the same time, I want to, you know, we still want to have fun with it and all that. And George and I actually just got back from the CrossFit Games, which were this past weekend.
Yes.
He went and drove up to Madison, Wisconsin, where they have been held the last couple years, for the day.
Right. Yep.
And I went from Thursday to Sunday. I've never done that before, actually. I've gone Friday to Sunday before, but never Thursday to Sunday. That extra day makes a huge difference.
And how was that? Was it?
I'm pretty tired.
Yeah. Is it worth it? I mean, because I was thinking like, why, like. To me, like I would just that one day was awesome, but I guess because they're different workouts every day. Like, is that?
So the first year I ever went, I didn't have a Coliseum ticket like you guys. So there's festival tickets. It's like when you think about the CrossFit Games, if you've never been, it's literally like a festival, like a mini Lollapalooza, or
right.
mini, but it's working out that you see instead of artists.
Right.
And there's like this booth and that booth and this store and that store and long lines for food and bathrooms. But the Coliseum, it's like you have to have you pay extra. You have to have special tickets to go in. And the reason you pay extra is like those are like the main events. Like those are the events that really make or break and that look good on camera, and the ones that, and on the last day decide who wins and all that stuff. But there's a lot of workouts that take place outside or even in water and stuff like that, and anybody can see those as long as they paid for festival. And I want to say it is worth it. I would say it's tough for you because you have a little daughter. And it was so funny because Sam was like, yeah, like we brought Dolly up because George said he wanted her to come. And I was like, you better not be blaming me. I'm like, because really look back on me and all the places I go, when do I take my kids anywhere?
Well, I would have just dropped her off, you know. I would have dropped her off at my sister's, but like, you know, there comes a point like, man, you know what? She's my daughter. I can't be fucking just dropping off when I want to do something. You know what I mean? And then not only that, but Susie, you did say like, you better bring her because if you don't, then I haven't seen her in a while. So
okay, that's true. But at the same time, it's like if you would have come in without her, I would have been like sad for a second, and I would have understood.
She would have made fun of me the whole time.
It was like it's a 2-hour drive, and so I sympathize. Like I've had small kids before, and she's 2, so like that's a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that it's worth it. It's worth to get the Coliseum, and it's worth to go more than 2 days.
Right. Okay. Nice. Mm-hmm. I just don't know. Like it's one of those things where like it's not a vacation like spot, you know. So like I feel like it's like, do I really want to spend 4 days in Madison and watching that?
Yeah, my main thing is like, if you go to a vacation spot, like for example, like I went to Laguna, you know, you can find like good stuff there to eat. Right, it's not going to be all like Burger King or, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you want something fast, and don't forget we're also coming out of COVID and technically still in COVID.
Right.
Like to make any sort of reservation at a nice place, it was like impossible. And so that leaves you with like very few choices. And to me, the one thing I hate about traveling, especially because you're right, Madison's not like, oh, let's go to Madison for the week. And no one ever says that. It's not like there's like, oh, this spa, oh, this well-known, you know, fruit smoothie place. Or there's not those things. And so it's kind of hard, you know, to eat well and not feel like garbage. And it's tough. So I mean, I've eaten so much like Red Robin there. Like, I hate that. Ew, I cannot stand it. But the CrossFit Games is a really, really fun time. Yeah, Coliseum tickets are the best.
Yeah, I enjoyed it this time because I feel like last time I went for like work, and I had to like not pay attention, and like I had to like be around people and fun, you know, video them, and had specific like things to like shoot and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, oh, but this time was fun. It was really fun. I just got to hang out with you guys, got to hang out with Dahlia, Lupus.
You bought a lot of things.
I bought a shitload of things. Not as much as Julian though, but Julian told me his receipt and I was like,
how much do you think you spent?
Total about $500.
Oh, I would have guessed more.
No, yeah, I did. Maybe more, but right around that area. So like $500-$600 around there.
Because you bought a bunch of stuff for Stephanie too.
Yeah, mostly for Stephanie. I didn't find too much stuff that I wanted. So the only thing, my biggest purchase was the vest. And I really wanted the vest, you know, because I want to do more body style workouts. So, but yeah. And Stephanie, she's like, give me a shirt. And, you know, I haven't bought her any No Bull shirts. And I was like, you know what? So I just went crazy on her. So, but yeah, I mean, it was awesome. That's the main reason why I wanted to go. I wanted to go shopping. I thought they were gonna have these new cool colors and stuff like that, which they didn't.
No, they don't release new things like that.
So, but yeah, so yeah. Did you guys spend a lot? I know you spent a lot.
I did not spend a lot.
Well, I know Presley spent a lot.
Presley spent a lot.
Yeah.
Presley, it's his first time.
Yeah.
That boy can shop. And I told him, I'm like, the first time I ever went, I probably spent like $600-$700.
Yeah.
Like, I bought a jump rope, I bought new knee sleeves, I bought wrist wraps, I bought all the stuff that like was there. I obviously bought clothes and, you know, all that stuff. I spent around that time, and every year I've spent less for sure.
Yeah.
This year I didn't spend that much. I bought a backpack. Do I need it? No.
Wait, a No Bull backpack
no.
too? Oh, okay.
I got a Bear Complex backpack.
Oh, the one with the Velcros and all that. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
It's really nice. It's really big. like talked myself into it. I almost didn't buy it, but I was like, you know, what if I'm gonna travel a lot more? You know, like
she was justifying it, guys.
I'm like, you know, Presley, that way, like, he could always find me because I, like, stand out with my hot pink backpack. It's hot pink. And I bought a little Velcro sticker for it, Mexico, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was probably my biggest purchase. And then the No Bull sweatshirt, the 2021 CrossFit
that was
Games.
a very nice sweater.
I love it, and it's comfortable.
Super nice.
I got that, and I got 2 No Bull shirts and a pink fanny pack. That's all I bought.
Nice.
Presley got like 2 pairs of pants, like 3 pairs of shorts. He got like, I don't even know. He got 2 of those sweatshirts, and then he got like countless shirts.
The sweatshirts are so nice. Yeah, they're.
You should have gotten yourself one.
No, the only thing I don't like about it, did he get the CrossFit ones?
He got 1 CrossFit, 1 No Bull.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about getting a No Bull one, but like, I don't know. I have so many sweaters already that I'm just like, ugh, you know. But they fit so nice. But yeah, that's awesome. That's super. And the thing that I was telling Presley and I was telling you guys when we went out to dinner, which was a really great place, honestly, is that you picked it. So is that I feel like it means more when you buy it there. Like
oh, you said like the memory.
Yeah, like the memory. Like I bought one Rogue shirt like 2 years ago, and I still remember that's that one Rogue shirt that I bought there. You know what I mean? So
that's actually really true. Actually, when we went 2 years ago, Dave Perlin came. Do you remember? Like we were all there, Dave and all that stuff. And I remember like Becca, Rocio, and I were in front of the Rogue, and Dave was like, "Who wants a shirt?" And everybody was like thinking he's kidding because he's always playing around. And I'm like, I do. And like he took me in. He's like, which one do you want? I'm like, that one. And he paid for it. Every time I put that shirt on, I remember that. Like, because I'm like, I remember gifts, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, that's such a funny story because no one was taking him seriously. But I was like, yeah, you can buy me a shirt if you want.
Yeah, fuck it. Take it.
But yeah, so the CrossFit Games is a fun time. I'm not surprised by any of the people on the leaderboard, actually. I know a lot of people were surprised with like Annie, and you guys probably don't know these people, but Annie Thorisdottir making it back on. I'm not surprised because she is a fighter. I'm not surprised at like any of the Canadians, Brent Fikowski and Vellner. I'm not surprised at any of those people. So, but overall, like I really like this year's workouts. I thought the programming was awesome. A lot of inspiration for me for workouts.
Oh, Lupe was saying that the whole time. She's like, man, we're gonna have a rough couple of weeks going back.
I loved a lot of the workouts. I thought they were really well programmed. Too bad none of you guys can do freestanding handstand push-ups because
thank God.
That would definitely be in. But man, if you had to be there, you would see like. I'm like, I would never program this anyway because I don't want people's necks to break.
Yeah.
Like, they plop down. I'm like, I'm getting a migraine just watching them. But it's been fun because, and then I was, like, we were there, and Sunday we were watching the last event, and I was watching the Olympics because I'm about Olympic weightlifting. Yeah. And there was a big competition during that time, and my girl, Nazy Dajones from Ecuador, won gold, and I was so happy about that. So overall, it's been all about like sports and stuff right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great time right now.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm glad. I love the Olympics. Do you like them?
Yeah. I mean, I like the stories. You know, I like the Michael Phelps stories, like all that crazy stuff. And
you know what's so funny? So I think a big thing about that's really become. I think we're all becoming way more aware of the importance of mental health. And, like, the biggest story, obviously, would be, like, Simone Biles. And if you don't know what happened, she was going into this with immense pressure. Like, a lot riding on her. Like, America, you must win gold type of thing, right? And she decided to bow out. Like, her team will still go on without her. They still won a silver medal without her. But she was saying that she was so stressed and anxious that she got this thing called a twisty. So it means like you don't know, like when you're tumbling, you don't know where your body is. And so she said it was completely just anxiety related. Okay. It's not a medical thing. but people have been there's been like very polarizing opinions. Either people are very like in support of her,
Yeah.
or they're like, oh my gosh, like you're an Olympian, just push through, blah blah blah. And I can see both arguments, because sometimes I could be about tough love. I think you too.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think that we're in a very special place in history where I think that we know the importance of mental health, and the value that it has. And I was just asking George before we started shooting, I'm like, do you, like, I wish I had good mental health. Like, if there was one thing I can go back in my next life, or if I could go back in my mother's, like, I would want good mental health. And the thing is, it's just because you always don't, because you don't have it often. And the moments that you do, it's a huge difference. And so I think that for me, when she was like, I have anxiety, I have mental health issues right now, I was like, oh, no question. Like, yeah, she definitely shouldn't compete.
Mm-hmm.
But so many people, and I would say a lot of people are like my mom's generation and older, right? They're like, oh, no, you just keep fighting. You keep pushing and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, how far do you keep going with that?
Yeah.
At what point do you decide that, like, you know what, my mental health takes priority and I need rest, or my body needs a break, or I will not be serving anyone here? Like, it's that same adage from all the time, and I talk about this all the time. When you're on a plane and it's going down, they tell you put on your mask first and then help others.
Yeah.
How can she be like this big, awesome Olympian if she's not taking care of herself?
Yeah. I just feel like, well, the question was, you asked me, like, do you have good mental health? Mm-hmm. And I had to think about it. I was like, I don't know what good mental health is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that looks like.
That's
like
awesome, because that means that you probably have very good mental health.
Well, I mean, do I though? Like, what if
you're just not aware?
What if I'm just not aware of that? You know what I mean? Like, and now that you put that question in my head, now like today, like all day, Stephanie has been telling me, what's wrong? Did I do something wrong? Are you mad at me? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not. It's
Why
just,
have you been quiet?
I've been quiet. I've been very pensive, and it's because of business stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
you're stressed.
I'm stressed, and I'm just like, and like, is that a good thing? And like, that's not a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just kind of weird. Like, it's just and it just, that whole question is like, it's like mind blowing. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what good mental health is. Like, and there's like I think like okay, like ebbs and flows, right? Like,
sure.
Is that normal? Is that normal mental health? Like, you know what I mean? Or like,
yeah. Like, is this, like, obviously no one's gonna be happy all the time. Like, is this low a normal low? Right.
Like I don't know.
Or is
like,
this level of anxiety normal anxiety?
Right.
Or is it like medical grade?
Exactly.
Right?
Like I kind of like 20 years, like, 20 years ago when a girl like broke up with me, like I would fucking whimper and cry on the sofa, So that's the only thing I can look back, like, at least I'm not that broken, you know what I mean, or something like that.
Okay.
Or the day when I thought like we were gonna lose all the businesses, you know what I mean? Like, I was at a really crazy low, like, and then when you're at another low, you're like, at least I'm not that low.
Yeah.
So like, but is it okay to be in those lows and ups and lows, and like, is it healthy? Like, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good, healthy relationship with my mind. Like, you can tell right all the time that my mind's always running. Is that a good thing? Like, is that and you always put it in my head, like, you never listen. And I'm just like, well, my mind is always like,
it's more so that you're never present.
Right. There you go. No, I'm never present. Right.
Yeah. Which my mind races all the time too. I have a huge anxiety issue. I don't wish this on my worst enemy, because I hate how my brain works. And I mean, and that's just clear. Like, I envy a person that's just like, it's all going to work out. And obviously you and I have talked a lot about how you have to trust the universe and all that stuff. But there's times where my ego and my brain wants to control. Like, okay, in the future, I have this problem. If I take this route, this will be the outcome. If I take this route, this will be the outcome. This will be the outcome I don't want, but I can still make it work if I do this extra thing, and like, whatever, right? Like, trying to really like be almost like a fortune teller, and like, what's the future going to be? And that overall ruins my life, because I'm not living in the present either.
Right.
I'm worrying about something that hasn't even happened, isn't happening.
Yeah.
And I'm not able to, we talked a little bit about the Sunday scaries. Like, again, like I woke up a couple times this morning, Sunday morning or Monday morning, and I was like, oh my God, I'm dreading this week. Like, I am going to have so much stuff to do. I have all these meetings. Like, and I'm like, well, it's not okay for me to be so anxious about stuff that hasn't even happened yet.
Right.
It's Monday, 4:40 a.m. Why am I concerned about Wednesday or Thursday or right? Like, why am I concerned with that? And so I think that I've always been aware because I was like diagnosed with anxiety issues at 12 that I know when I'm not my best. And so for a person that's so high functioning, like a professional gold medal athlete, because she's won gold before,
right,
to say that, I think it really stopped a lot of people on their tracks. And that overall, now people are like, yeah, like mental health is so awesome. And then you hear about all these other stories of athletes who didn't pay attention to their instincts or didn't pay attention to their mental health and got severely injured.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, it's such a fine line. You know what I mean? Like just coming back from the CrossFit Games too. You know what I mean? Like thinking like how many emotions are they going through? You know, like how many times like CrossFit is not. It's probably one of the hardest sports, honestly. It's like and on your body, on your toe, and like you just see these people like taped up. You see these people with KT tape. You see people fucking, you see fucking Brooke Wells. Brooke Wells injured her elbow. I found this out. Like, she injured her elbow before, before going to the games, and she still pushed herself.
She still went.
And at the games, she dislocated her fucking elbow, and we were all there. We saw it, and like, is that okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when is it okay to be like, I need to stop, or I need to be like, okay, or like, and the hard thing is like, this is physical, right? You could see this guy popping out, but in your elbow, in your mind, you don't know what's
correct.
What's going on.
And that was the conversation I was having with a lot of people when they were like, yeah, but like, she gets paid to compete and blah, blah. It's like, but no one would expect her to compete if she broke her arm in practice. No one would be like, oh yeah, like she still has to go. No, you'd be like, well, that's that. Right, her arm's broken. You're done. But what about your spirit? Your spirit's broken. Mm-hmm. How can we expect someone to compete with that? And I think that that's something that mentality of go, go, go can be very helpful in some things. And I think it could really destroy you on other things.
Right.
I think that the motivation to keep going and be strong for your family, etc., that we have seen that example many times. And been like, okay, yeah, that's, like a very, what's the word? That's a very honorable thing to do for your family. Or, yeah, the mom that works 3 jobs to make ends meet. Like, right, oh, yeah, we understand. Or like, all that stuff, all the sacrifice stories that we hear. But at the same time, why don't we commend when people are like, you know what? I have to freaking not go to work today and just stay home and drink tea. Because I feel like I am going to freaking pass out if I have to look at one more report, or my boss who's always yelling at me, I cannot take it today.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like, and I like, it's a hard, like, I don't know, like, for me, it's a hard line. You know what I mean? It's a very, very, distinguishing where I'm at, because I really don't, me, like, I'm always like, okay, like, just fucking push through it, or go through with it. But like, another part of me is like, these athletes are so disposable. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
so,
exactly.
Like, and well, my friend, like, he's very like, he should have fucking done. She should have gone. Like, you persevered through that.
And I heard so many, like, she let her team down.
Right,
like,
yeah.
But she doesn't know anything to anyone but herself.
Right, and the things that he's been posting like nothing but like crazy stuff, like, and
you have such weird friends.
The funny thing is like I don't. They're not my friends like you and me, but like, they're my acquaintances and Facebook friends and like IG people that we follow and stuff like that. But like, I know them. I'd say what's up to them like outside of the world, right? But the beautiful thing is like, I feel like I have like both spectrums.
Yeah.
So that's what I really like. So I can see both things, and I'm like, man, this is where I have like a lot of white friends and then like a lot of right wing people and left wing people, you know, a lot of Latinos, and so it's really really crazy just to see everything. And we talked about this before, but like, you know, everyone thinks you're either left or right, but like sometimes you're swaying, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
but going back to your point about not just athletes are disposable, anyone's disposable.
Right.
How often has like, you know, like someone worked for a long time at a job and then they get fired or they quit? They fill that position in a week's time.
Exactly. And the thing that I was talking about, so he posted the thing about Kurt Angle. I don't know if he wrestled with the broken neck. You know what I mean? And I don't know, without even thinking about it, who the fuck knows Kurt Angle? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, was that worth it for him? You know, like, yeah, he has probably gold medal or like, or something like that.
You're not thinking like, wow, like right. I want to do that. Yeah. No, you're thinking like that was cool, and then you move on.
You're right. Or like the you know, probably one of the greatest stories with the girl,
Carrie Strug. Yeah.
She broke her ankle or something like that, right? And she still went to do it. Like, holy shit, you know, like.
But like, to continue on that story, because I kind of have a little bit of shame saying this out loud, but like, I have mimicked a lot of my coaching after the Carolis, which are the coaches that got Carrie Strug in the Olympics. That 1996 Olympic team, I model my coaching after Marta Caroli a lot.
When you say mimic, what is that?
Like I take a lot of the same style.
Like, okay.
I consider my style of coaching very similar to Marta Caroli's, which is very much like, you know, like a balance between technical, but at the same time, like push the people that you can push, right? Obviously they're at a level where they're trying to make gold medal Olympians, right? But so back to the athletes being disposable. Like, she had broken her ankle on this first vault. You can see it. She's uncomfortable. She's walking and her ankle's like, ugh, like, but she asks, like, do I have to do this? Yeah. She could have probably still won gold for her team with this first vault. And Bella Caroli, which is the husband, it's a husband and wife team, Marta and Bella Caroli. He was like, yeah, you have to do it. And she's like, I have to do it. He's like, you can do it. You can do it. And then she's like, I don't know if I can. Like, she's like the whole time messing with her ankle, like up and down. And she's like, I don't know if I can. He's like, you can do it. And that's something that I always remember. Like, he has a Romanian accent. They're Romanian. He's like, you can do it, Kerry. You can do it. Like, that's how it sounds. Like, literally, like, go back on that video. It's probably my best impression of anyone. And she doesn't. She kills it. Yeah. And she had to retire after that at 18 years old.
She retired because of that?
Yeah, her ankle was destroyed.
Dude, you know,
her ankle was done. It was over. Like, obviously we know gymnasts have a shelf life. These Olympic sports, for the most part, like, you're not old. You're 30s old, right? Right. So she probably didn't have, but like, she was done at 18. And the thing is that American sports or Olympic sports, as far as like a lot of countries around the world, but in America, like, that was the first time we got like team gold. And the reason that happened is because we literally found these coaches who had gotten other people their gold. Nadia Comaneci in 1980 or whatever year that was. They plucked them and they're like, come to the United States and do the same thing you do in those countries. In those countries, you make a lot of money for winning. Like, you saw about the girl from the Philippines that won. She won $660,000 and 2 homes for winning gold. Because it's not like because you know what happens to these people? You find them at 4 years old and you literally send them away and they're never with their family again. Because they're training. And so what did we do in the United States? We got the Carolis. What did they do? Make a camp, a camp in Texas. And that's where they have the little girls. And then we don't want to get into all the sexual abuse and stuff, because that's the reason why it happened. They're parentless. Yeah. And they're just training because you think they're going to get gold medals. So it's like, she was done at 18. Do we remember that all the time? No. You know, like the Carrie's drug thing. I remember it every 4 years. Yeah. When I'm going to tell this story about how she landed that vault, because I was 13 and I thought that was so awesome. But like, I'm sure she would like to have done it at least a couple more years. Yeah. No, I mean, or who knows if she's walking weird, you know, or she has pain every winter. Or,
yeah, not only that, but like, you know, like, I mean, you look at somebody like Joe Corvo, and he's doing it all his whole life, you know, and he'd want to continue that through his whole life, you know what I mean? And you know that what's the gymnast name, the one that broke her ankle? I'm sorry, I don't.
Carrie Strug.
Okay, so you don't think she'd probably want to just like do it for fun?
Yeah,
and she
probably.
can't even do it. You know what I mean? She can't even do it.
She could probably do like other stuff, but definitely nothing high impact on her ankles.
Right. So
yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, we have a high level athlete here, NHL for like, I don't even know how many years, and then CrossFit Games athlete, top 7th, and there's times where his body just doesn't cooperate. But when you're a high level athlete, you know that's what's gonna happen. But he doesn't have any injuries that stop him from doing anything.
Right. Right.
He can still do all those things and be a father and a coach to his kids and all that stuff. Right. And yeah, that stuff, I think about that all the time. Like, I know it's a story that I like to tell too, but you know, she's done after that.
I mean, it's an amazing story, and I'm not sure if it was you, but I think, like, you know, when you like something and then it pops up into my feed, I think you like this one guy's name or one guy's post, and it was a really long post. Anyways, but like, if you see the video again, it's really sad. Like, other than the actual, like, when she's on the floor, like, she's literally crawling to these guys, like, crying, and I'm just like, and I mean, maybe it changes everything that I'm a father, but like, looking at that, if that was Dahlia, I'd be like, you're out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it's kind of weird, but I don't know. Like, it's just.
And that's the thing that we value so much on athletic prowess, that we don't think of these people as people, right? Like, it's just like, oh, she won the gold, yay, she did that, and okay, whatever, we're done with her.
Well, I think it's because it's glamorized, right? One of it is glamorized. It's like, okay, we do that. We play with our demons. You know what I mean? We you know, everyone's calling it a quitter, because it's mental. But like, you're honestly right. If you had a broken arm, you wouldn't go out there. You know, it's crazy. I don't know. So the hard thing is that it's you being, because I mean, we're athletes, right? Yeah. Ourselves in our own little world here. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna push through this shoulder injury, or I'm gonna take it easy or something. You know what I mean? And then like, there's times where like, I'm just gonna relax this time or something like that. So,
yeah, for sure. So to find that personal balance is difficult. But I think that we need to really start looking at the values of that. How many of our grandparents or parents have gone with undiagnosed issues, and we just think that their behavior is normal, and they couldn't have had a more, fruitful life. Yeah. Right? But it's because it's not a thing that everyone's comfortable with saying. Right? Because that means like, oh, if she's not pushing through this and she's the best, that means like me not seeing my family ever, even though I hate my job and this and I want to cry every drive home or whatever, that's not worth it. Right. So it's difficult to put that stuff in perspective, but taking care of yourself is key. There's just no other way around it. Yeah, I take a delicate balance. Like, if I don't even get enough sleep, I won't train, because I already know that my body is super sensitive to that sort of thing. And if I am super anxious, my central nervous system is already frazzled. So why am I going to add like heavy weights to my body when it's barely holding me together? Yeah. Like barely. So it is a difficult situation for a lot of people. And obviously there's all the things all the tools that George and I have learned, like changing your mindset. Like, think about it. Like I said it all the time, like I'm stuck in traffic and I have to remind myself, like, this is a good thing. What if I was driving too fast and I got into an accident, or, all that stuff. I'm grateful for this traffic, or, meditation and breathing and, journaling, and all the things that make you feel gratitude and make you be present in the moment. Obviously, all those tools. But at the same time, there are just times where you need to feel your feelings. Yeah. And sometimes those feelings are telling you, like, you need to stop right now. That's it. Yeah. So, yeah. I think it's a great question, though, to ask yourself, like, is my mental health good? I mean, where do you even begin with that, though? Like, you know what I mean? Mine's not. So, like, but how do you know that? Because I can feel it. So is it just because, okay. I can feel it. But at the same, like I said earlier, I know myself because I've had anxiety and depression, but most anxiety. since my whole life, but it was diagnosed at 12. And I could see now the patterns like my mom. But then I look back and I'm like, oh no, like my grandma, right? So then I think about all this anxiety, and I think about like, oh gosh, like there's the times I don't have this like impending anxious feeling. Those times have been so nice. Like my brain feels calm, my spirit feels calm, my body doesn't feel under high tension, like it's ready to collapse at any moment. Like, okay, good. I remember those times. So the fact that I don't feel like that most of the time, I know my mental health is not good at that moment.
Right. Okay. But I feel like, don't you feel like that's gonna come back though?
What,
Like when you
stuff?
no the bad when you're in a good state, isn't that bad stuff always lingering in your head?
Mm-mm. No, not always.
No, really?
No. When I'm in a good place, I'm like, ooh, this is good.
Really?
Does it happen? Does it come back? Obviously it does. But no, I never think like, okay, this is short term.
Yeah.
No, I don't think like that.
See, like I think like that. Like right now, like we're making really good money, right? So
Yeah.
like it's just like, oh man, something's about to happen. You know what I mean? In my mind, you know. So like,
You did say that the other day.
you know, so I'm just like, man, something's not right.
No, you can't think like
So,
that.
like, yeah.
When I'm in a good place, I'm good in that good place. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, don't think like that,
Yeah. So then I
George.
feel like that's like, you know what I mean? And then
So
that's
then
why like it's
that's
kind of
when
like
you think like your mental health's not good,
right
Because
and
you're
that's
not
why,
able to appreciate.
Because then
that?
that's when I go low, you know, because I'm because like you're supposed to enjoy the fruits of your labor and stuff like
Correct,
that,
yeah.
and you know. And although like I go and buy like my shirts and stuff like that, and I'm able to buy Stephanie her stuff and like buy whatever the hell I want, but like then I'm always thinking like, man, this is not gonna last.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, man, something's fucking wrong. Like something's
no.
weird.
No. You can't think like that. Just if obviously it'll happen, just let it happen.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and that's something that I've been trying to like.
You definitely need to just journal gratitude.
Yeah. So
right?
I think,
like
yeah,
I'm grateful that I was able to spend $500 at Rogue.
Yeah. So I mean, and I think that's why it's kind of always like that for me. Like, I feel like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna lose a client. I'm gonna lose a client.
But you know who thinks like this? My mom. So I bet you get that from your mom.
Probably, yeah. You know, yeah.
Because my mom, like, let's say we ever had like a good time or something, or like I'd be like, oh yeah, mom, I got a promotion, like at like whatever job I had. And she'd be like, okay, good. Like, make sure you save because like
that's how my mom was too,
it's
dude.
not, you know, cuando las cosas buenas pasan, that's like when good things happen, bad things are coming. And I'd be like, how are you just ruining my vibe right now? But like, you know, that comes from a feeling of lack.
Yeah, I definitely do think, because my mom is a big saver, and you know, and I am too. But I'm to save to invest into something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then my mom was save for retirement or save till like I'm 70. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just like I save to make more money. You know, and that's where like I'm just like, fuck, I spend this money. Like I have a lot of buyer's remorse all the time.
Really?
All the time, like a lot. Like all
I
the
used to
time.
have that a lot before. I stopped with the buyer's remorse a couple years ago, but it was a practice because I used to be like, oh god, like I'd almost break out into hives. Like, oh my god, I just spent like $200 at Lulu on just like two things, and like, oh my god, like this is my mom would have never spent this on herself.
Right.
Like I used to get big bad buyer's remorse, but then it's like, no, you earned that.
Right. Yeah, it's you know, I think right now it's just because I think
we're learning about your mental health isn't that good.
No, yeah, it's not. It's not. That's what I'm saying, because I don't
I think that's what we're learning right now.
Yeah,
George.
I don't think it is, and I think a lot of it has to do with financials, and I think that's where I got that from my mom, because it was always about like, it wasn't always about money for her, but it's like, you know, money makes not who you are, but it makes you do things, you know, in life. It makes you who you are, or not who you are, but it puts you in a lifestyle that you want to be in, you know. So it's just like so I hold money on a very, very high standard. So, but I made like some financial decisions right now where I'm just like, holy fuck, I got to be very careful, you know. And so
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now we're gonna take some steps for George's mental health because I don't know like I have a remedy. You know, like I don't want to like bring down the room or whatever, but like these are things you really have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Right? Like again, not to bring down the room, but like my friend Stacy committed suicide. And if any of you guys ever met her, she never showed you she was worried or sad or anxious. Nothing. I knew it as her best friend. But I think it came as a huge shock to most people because she was like you. She was always joking. She was the type of person that she would say hi to the whole. She was very much like you. Yeah. Not to say that this is where you're headed, but like she had obviously bad trauma from her childhood. But like you need to pay attention to those things because sometimes you pay attention to them too late. And then you'll find yourself in a really deep hole of like maybe anxiety or worry. Yeah. Or or depression even, and you don't even know how you got there.
Nope.
So I think that's one of the things, like being aware. I think that out of everything that Simone Biles has done, I think that bringing mental health awareness is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, remember like when The Sopranos came out, it was all about him seeing a psychiatrist and how silly that sounded.
Right.
But at the same time, like that was major. You're talking about an ethnic man in the mom, but like an ethnic man, period, going to seek help because he was having panic attacks. Like my mom would never.
No, I wouldn't either.
You know what I mean? Like my mom had huge trauma, and her priest and everybody would be like, "You should see someone," and my mom was like, "No, like I have to just move forward and push on." And now this lady drives me absolutely nuts, but because she didn't address these issues. So it's something that you really need to be aware of. Awareness is key.
And I think it's awesome that you brought up that question though, because I think that's a question we should ask ourselves. Like, so now you're able to question yourself, and now you and that's one of the main thing that you do, that you're able to separate yourself from yourself and be able to see yourself from the outside now.
Yeah, I think something that causes an insecurity within me is that, like, since I am so aware, when people are like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm anxious," or "I had like real bad anxiety today." And I think sometimes people are like, "Oh, annoying," But at the same time, like, I know that that's true. Right. I know that I'm literally feeling that, or that's how I am today. And perhaps it is annoying or whatever, but I think it really turns people off because they don't want to think about themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Right? They can just be like, "No, today was a good day, whatever. Like, I got out of work 5 minutes early. Like, there's no traffic." But you're not checking in with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely not. And I feel like sometimes, I kind of ignore that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I kind of just ignore that aspect. Like, what's going on, but yeah, you're just ignoring it. Like, so, yeah, who knows?
It's tough. We're going to work on George, but then we're going to work on everyone too. I'm last though, because it's just hard for me. I had a panic attack a week ago.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
I had a panic attack. I was lying down and I was like, oh, I feel it. It's happening. But luckily I'm aware. I've had them before. So I know I'm not dying, but I literally feel like I'm dying. And I was like, it'll pass. And I have to always tell Presley, like, I'm having an anxiety attack, or I have super high anxiety today, or I'm having a panic attack. Like, how annoying is that? Like, how annoying is that for Presley? I think about that all the time.
I don't know, but isn't it better for Presley though?
Sure, that he knows.
Because like I wouldn't be able, like, okay, like
Stephanie was asking you.
Yeah, Stephanie was asking me.
You didn't know the answer,
and I didn't know the answer, and now she probably feels bad, and she's going about her day like on eggshells and shit like that.
I wonder if I did something bad to George.
And she has nothing. It has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with her.
I think it honestly takes time. So I'll tell him, like, I have real bad anxiety today. It has nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll get past it. Like, I don't know. Like, I just need to breathe, and like I'll do something like that. And then I try to coax myself out of it so that we can have like our moment in time, right?
Yeah.
Dinner or whatever it is, but I have to explain that to him. Like, I have real bad anxiety. I may be quiet for a while. Like, I have real bad anxiety. Just let me breathe. Like, when I have real bad anxiety, why I think also my anxiety is super high. One of my coping mechanisms is like watching TV, but like watching stuff I've already watched a million times.
Oh, okay.
Like The Office.
Okay.
Or like a movie I've seen so many times, like The Godfather. And I haven't been able to do that because I am in a relationship with Presley where we watch TV together and I want to compromise. But one of my coping mechanisms is like watching something that I'm familiar with because I know what's happening in that show. And that may be one of the reasons my anxiety.
So it calms you down?
It calms me down.
Because you know what's happening.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you really think about like the songs I like, they're all old.
Right.
They're not like really new songs. So maybe I need to tell him I need to watch TV on my own and like so I can soothe. But like again, how annoying is that? Like, oh, this girl has to watch this thing that she's watched a million times again.
Right.
But yeah, you have to just let her know.
Okay.
But you have to also know that that's what's happening.
Okay. Oh man, I didn't think this podcast was supposed to be about our favorite books, our movies, and like
which we'll do 2
music
episodes from now. Yeah.
So we're completely the opposite way, and and as you can tell, we didn't do any intro. So.
Oh my God, we didn't.
We didn't do any intro.
Oh, that's terrible. I feel like that's bad luck now.
Oh come on, nah. No? They'll probably be like, "What the hell's going on?" They probably think that we just like did like a pre-recording, something like.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. No, we didn't. Okay, we'll do better next time. We're gonna have a guest, but we'll do the movies, music, books in 2 podcasts.
Podcasts after that. So
by that time, it'll be full on fall.
Oh crap! This year's going by fast.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of fall. Death.
Really, fall's one of my favorite. I feel like it's perfect weather, but we only get like a super small.
I really cannot stand people that say fall and spring are their favorites because we don't have those seasons here.
Yeah, we do. Well, I mean, I guess
like a week and a half.
Yeah, I guess.
And then it's winter.
This is true.
For 5 months.
Yeah,
it's literally winter for 5 months, summer for 5 months, and then there's like all this in between stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But I mean, the leaf changing. I love sweaters. Sweaters are cool.
I hate them.
You're not too hot. You're not too cold.
I like being hot.
Yeah. So it's awesome. I feel like summer goes by really fast too, though.
I hate it.
Like summer
I wish we had like another 8 weeks of summer. It went by so quick.
Yeah, like I think we're gonna get back into the 90s this week, but it's gonna be cloudy, like a little, so it's not gonna be like super bright sun.
This is another thing that brings me anxiety, like thinking about winter. Oh, I hate it. Death.
Yeah, winter's so sad, right?
It's death. We're literally dead.
No sun, no heat.
Talk about my anxiety and depression. Times 100.
Oh man. All right, guys, till next podcast, you're with George and
Susie,
and this is the I Know Right
podcast.
Peace.
Bye. That was so sad.
Why?